In the serene forest of Jetavana, the air was filled with the sound of birds and rustling leaves. The Buddha sat peacefully beneath a great Bodhi tree, his presence radiating wisdom. Disciples gathered around him, their expressions a mixture of reverence and curiosity. Among them was Anathapindika, a prominent merchant of the city. His wealth was vast, yet his heart was troubled by the ethical dilemmas of his trade. He stepped forward, bowed low before the Buddha, and spoke with a voice heavy with concern. "Blessed One, my wealth multiplies, yet I feel no peace. How may I use it for good, not harm?" The Buddha gazed at Anathapindika with gentle compassion, his eyes deep pools of understanding. He spoke with calm clarity. "Anathapindika, wealth is like a flame. In wisdom, it lights the way. In ignorance, it burns and destroys." The disciples leaned in closer, their attention rapt. The Buddha extended his hand, fingers gently spread. "First, consider this. Wealth must cause no harm. Ventures that harm people, animals, or the earth bring heavy karmic burdens." Anathapindika nodded, absorbing the truth of these words. The Buddha continued, his voice steady and clear. "Second, use wealth to nurture the community. Support those in need, uplift the weak, and share the fruits of fortune." A soft breeze stirred the leaves above, carrying the Buddha's words like whispers through the forest. He raised a third finger. "Third, let honesty guide your actions. Deceitful earnings, though abundant, corrupt the soul and darken the light of virtue." The disciples murmured their agreement, their faces illuminated by the profound simplicity of these teachings. The Buddha paused briefly. "Fourth, think of future generations. Sustain the earth's gifts. Do not deplete them selfishly, leaving desolation for those who follow." Anathapindika's heart swelled with a mixture of humility and resolve. He felt the weight of his responsibility as a steward of wealth. "And fifth," the Buddha concluded, "walk the middle path. Neither hoard wealth nor squander it recklessly. Balance is the key to wisdom." The grove seemed to hold its breath, as if the very trees and stones listened to the Buddha's teachings. Anathapindika bowed deeply. "Blessed One," he said, "your words shine light upon the darkness of my ignorance. I shall strive to follow your guidance." The Buddha smiled, his expression serene, as though reflecting the still waters of a tranquil lake. He spoke again. "Remember, wealth is not the cause of suffering. It is the unwise use of wealth that binds the soul to samsara." The disciples sat in thoughtful silence, each contemplating the relevance of these teachings to their own lives. Anathapindika's voice broke the stillness. "Blessed One, how may I begin to transform my wealth into a force for good? What steps must I take?" The Buddha folded his hands in his lap and closed his eyes momentarily, as though communing with a deeper wisdom. "Begin by examining the sources of your wealth. Reflect upon whether they align with the principles of non-harming and compassion." Anathapindika listened intently, committing each word to memory. The Buddha opened his eyes and continued speaking. "Then, dedicate a portion of your wealth to causes that uplift others. Aid those who suffer. Support the spreading of wisdom." A bird called out in the distance, its cry echoing through the grove. The Buddha paused, letting the story flow into Nanda's thoughts like a stream meeting the calm of a lake. "My son, you are the potter, and your mind is the vessel you shape with the tools of discipline," he said. The disciples nodded in agreement, their faces lit with newfound understanding. Anathapindika's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. "Blessed One," he said, "your wisdom illuminates my path. I vow to transform my wealth into a beacon of righteousness." When you feel the pull of distraction, do not chase it, nor fear it, but return gently to your purpose, he advised. Let each act become a world of its own. Whether it is walking, breathing, or chanting sacred mantras, he suggested. Anathapindika, In doing so, you walk the noble path. Your wealth shall become a tool of liberation, not bondage. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows through the grove. The disciples began to rise, their hearts full. The Buddha remained seated beneath the Bodhi tree, his form a symbol of calm amidst the impermanence of life. His teachings lingered. The Buddha smiled gently and said, "In your effort lies the seed of transformation, and with time, the flower of clarity will bloom." As Nanda rose, the oil lamps flickered gently, their flame steady despite the invisible currents of air in the room. The Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree, his tranquil gaze settling on each soul seeking clarity in the realm of existence. Among the disciples was Sumitra, a young farmer, his brow furrowed with thoughts of his newfound wealth from a land sale. Sumitra approached the Buddha with reverence, kneeling before him, and spoke in a voice tinged with uncertainty and hope. "Blessed One," he began, "I have received wealth unexpectedly, and I seek your guidance to use it rightly and wisely." The Buddha gestured for Sumitra to sit, his voice steady and warm as he began to address the gathered community. "Sumitra, imagine wealth as water," the Buddha said. "It nourishes life when flowing and becomes stagnant when hoarded selfishly." He paused, allowing the metaphor to take root in the minds of those listening, his presence a calm anchor in their reflections. "Let me share the tale of two merchants," the Buddha continued, his voice filled with compassion and purpose. One merchant pursued profit alone, investing in ventures that brought harm to the earth and suffering to its people. Deforestation claimed forests where he invested, rivers grew polluted, and laborers toiled under unjust conditions for his gain. The merchant's wealth grew, yet his heart grew restless, and his sleep was haunted by the cries of those harmed. The Buddha then shifted his gaze, his tone now imbued with hope and illumination, as he shared the second merchant's story. The other merchant chose mindfulness in investing, seeking ventures that uplifted artisans and provided education to children. She supported farmers in adopting sustainable practices, ensuring the land remained fertile for future generations' sustenance and prosperity. Though her wealth grew slowly, it brought peace, joy, and harmony, not only to her but to countless lives she touched. The Buddha's eyes settled on Sumitra, his expression one of profound kindness and gentle urging toward understanding. "Sumitra, which merchant do you believe found true prosperity in their investments and actions?" he asked, his voice steady. Sumitra replied without hesitation, his voice firm and clear. The fisherman, inspired, returned to his task, clearing his net and casting it once more, catching fish by evening. The Buddha concluded. The story lingered in the humid air, each word sinking into Rahula's heart like water nourishing the roots of a plant. Indeed, Sumitra, true prosperity is measured not by gold but by the goodness wealth enables for oneself and others. Mindful investment is the soil from which the seeds of compassionate and wise deeds grow, nourishing all who come near. When you find your mind entangled in distractions, do not despair or give in to frustration, he instructed. Instead, pause, acknowledge their presence, and patiently clear them away. Returning your attention to the task at hand, he advised. "Sumitra," the Buddha said, his tone patient yet firm, "when you invest, consider the well-being of all beings connected to it. Let your wealth flow as rivers do, bringing life to all they touch, while replenishing the earth and its sources. Practice mindfulness in every choice, ensuring your actions are guided by the principles of compassion, sustainability, and interconnectedness." Sumitra bowed deeply, his heart lightened by the clarity and wisdom shared by the enlightened one. Inspired by the tale, "Master," Sumitra said, his voice humble, "I shall invest with mindfulness, allowing my wealth to bear fruit for all beings." The Buddha nodded, his serene countenance a reflection of the infinite possibilities born from mindful action and deliberate intention. Remember, Samitra, the Buddha said, wealth is not an end but a means to cultivate the seeds of joy and compassion. The disciples dispersed, their hearts and minds stirred by the teachings, carrying forth the wisdom of mindful and ethical investing. The day wore on, but the Buddha's words resonated deeply, guiding their paths like lanterns in the vast expanse of life. His wisdom carried onward like ripples on water, spreading from disciple to disciple, each embodying the teachings with reverence. Another day, the dawn painted the skies golden, bathing Jetavana Monastery in a serene glow that invited contemplation and stillness. The Buddha sat among the disciples, his form radiating tranquility, his gaze steady and filled with infinite compassion for all beings. The Buddha's presence radiated serenity, a living testament to the transformative power of mindfulness and unwavering focus. Blessed One, King Pasenadi said, my treasury overflows, yet I fear discord among my heirs when I am no longer present. The Buddha nodded, his gaze serene, his voice steady as he replied, Great King, wealth is a river, not a stagnant pond. He gestured to the horizon, where the rivers met the earth, nourishing all life along their banks and fostering growth anew. Let me tell you a story, the Buddha began, his voice weaving a tale that carried truths within its carefully spoken words. Long ago, there lived a prosperous merchant who amassed great riches but harbored constant fears over its eventual fate. His children quarreled over inheritance, neglecting the lessons of humility and generosity that he had hoped to pass down. Seeing the strife his wealth had caused, he turned to wisdom and resolved to create a legacy that transcended material possession. He established trusts to benefit artisans, endowed schools for learning, and preserved lands for cultivation and future prosperity. It was the Rajas who first cast us aside, denying us what was rightfully ours. The Buddha listened without interruption, his stillness creating a space where their voices could unfold fully. King Pasenadi, the Buddha said, your wealth should flow as the Ganges flows, ever shared, nourishing those it touches along the way. Establish institutions that embody your vision of righteousness, enabling your heirs to steward resources with compassion and mindfulness. Teach them the 5 noble principles, guiding their choices toward interconnectedness, sustainability, and the upliftment of all beings. Legacy is not measured by riches alone, but by the enduring values it inspires and the lives it transforms. The king bowed deeply, the tension lifting from his shoulders as he embraced the wisdom shared by the enlightened one. Before him, Master, King Pasenadi said, his voice steady, I shall ensure my wealth becomes a river of righteousness, serving as you advise. The Buddha smiled, his gaze filled with calm assurance, his voice imbued with the certainty born from timeless teachings and truths. When wealth serves the Dharma, the Buddha said, it becomes liberation, guiding generations to harmony, not bondage or conflict. The gathered disciples reflected, their hearts stirred by the teachings, vowing to honor their roles in stewarding wealth with virtue. The day wore on, yet the Buddha's words lingered, spreading like ripples across the lives of those entrusted with his wisdom. His guidance echoed in their actions, shaping choices that reflected mindful investment and the eternal flow of compassionate legacy. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.